now that the RetroTink 4K CE has officially been released, there's just a great many input options available for this thing for you to get the best 4K video scaling out of your consoles possible. But I want to share with you all something a little bit new today that is just a perfect way to pair a couple of systems with the RetroTink 4K Pro or CE, and that is HD15 VGA adapters for consoles from Mike Chi himself. So back when the RetroTink 4K CE was announced, Mike also made it known that there were going to be HD15 adapters in the works for PlayStation 1, Super Nintendo, and Genesis Model 2s, Model 2 Genesis. So I have today PS1 and Super Nintendo adapters, and we're going to focus on the PS1 adapter today just to keep this a bit more focused, and the fact that I don't have a power cable for my Super Nintendo that works at the moment. So we're gonna cover this one a little bit later in more detail. But along with these adapters, Mike has also constructed nice VGA cables with integrated audio. Just perfect for pairing these systems with these adapters. So we're gonna get this hooked up to the RetroTink and just get it nicely configured and just show off what it's capable of. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at the adapter real quick. So as you can see, the packaging, if my camera wanted to focus here, just nice, simple little plastic bag with a topper here. But PS1 RGB to HD15 adapter. So this is built specifically for PS1. It pulls from the PS1's RGB lines. So this is not meant for PS2 use. But we'll go ahead and get this opened up here. Or not, that's cool. Yeah, rip it up. Rip it good. Yes. Anyway. So there we go. See that is nice and compact. Got our PS1 multi-out connector on one side, and then HD15 VGA port on the other with a 3.5mm jack right here that you can pair with the VGA cable, or you could plug headphones into it. It's a 3.5mm jack. But we got the RetroTink logo right there, and right there. And again, we've got mounting screws and everything to keep this all nice and secure. So that's really cool. Focus. Camera. We're right here. Thank you. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get this plugged into the PS1 here. We got my X-Station PS1 for demo purposes today. So that fits in there nice and snug. And then we'll go ahead and get this hooked up with a VGA cable. So here we are. RetroTink-branded VGA cable here. So this is nice and shielded. I believe 75 ohm resistance. So very good quality. All right, so here we are. Got a nice breakout 3.5mm jack on each end of this cable. So that's got some distance to it, so you're going to be able to hook this up to many devices, not just the adapters here for the consoles. So I'm going to give this a try on my retro PC later, to be honest, because this will fit perfectly into my Voodoo 2 and still reach my sound card. So that'll be really nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and hook our PS1 up with a VGA cable. This is friggin' fun. That clamp down. And there we go. And plug in 3.5mm adapter there for audio. So there we go. That is awesome. Now we'll just take it and hook it up to the RetroTink 4K CE at the moment. That's what we're going to use for today's video. But this is nice and easy. It just plugs right into the VGA port here. So one of the cost-saving things of the CE is that it doesn't have the VGA screws on this one. Whereas the Pro, you can actually screw this in, but that's okay, it works. Then it just goes right into the audio inline right there. And that is all set to go. So let's go ahead and get the PS1 powered on, and we can begin messing around with this. It's going to be so fun. All right, so here we are in the 240p test suite. We are going to repurpose one of Wobbling Pixel's profiles for this VGA adapter here. We're just going to go into the Profiles menu, load from File, and then we'll just navigate down to PS1 here. There we are. All right, so let's go ahead and grab the RGB Razor Sharp profile. Square pixels, integer scale, let's go. Do that one. All right, so now we just need to change this back over to our HD15 port, RGBS, and there it is. Awesome. So, I'm just going to load up the checkerboard because it has a bunch of wonderful resolution test patterns for us to use here, and we can make sure that everything is lining up really nicely. So as you can see, this is already looking really nice. Go ahead and get things calibrated a bit more. All right, there we go. Oh, here we go, 384 by 240. 640 by 240. This one's always a bit more troubling, but it's all right. All right, 256. All right, so everything is looking nice and sharp. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and make sure we check the grid real quick. Make sure we don't have any overscan going on here. And it looks like we just need to move things down just a hair here. So we'll do that real quick, not in profiles. All right, so scaling, cropping. Let's go ahead and move that down. Like so. There we go. So now we got perfect 240. Yep, that's good. That is exactly what I want to see. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and save this as a new profile real quick. Well, let's go ahead and see what this looks like in action in games. So we're going to start with Mega Man X4 here. Mega Man X4 is a just nice 320 by 240 game. It's looking super sharp. This is beautiful to look at right now. And one of the reasons why this is a good game to look at is because of all the blue in the background. You can use this as a way to check for image noise with various cables, and there's really not much here that is going to be noticeable from a normal playing distance. Like, we really got to zoom in to see any typical analog noise here, which is really fantastic. And by going into the pause menu, we can see that this is scaling up beautifully here. There's no uneven pixel scaling happening. This is basically a perfect 9x integer scale across both axes here, so everything is nice and square. It is really good. You can notice a bit more image noise in the blue of this pause screen, but again, nothing that is noticeable from real playing distances. So, very happy with this, and it honestly looks a lot cleaner than my typical HD Retrovision cables, which I already thought looked really great. Well, let's just go through the level here real quick, not noticing anything in the scrolling, so it's looking really nice. And again, everything's staying nice and sharp, so exactly what you would want to see out of your PS1 system so far. Great stuff. Next up, we got Street Fighter Alpha 3. So this is a 384 by 240 game, and we are getting the full image output here with this adapter, which is good. There's a lot of things that can tend to cut 384 down to 368. This is not one of them. So it is good to see this in action and see that we are not losing any of our image. Now, just for a quick something that's 3D, we have Ape Escape. So this is another 384 by 240 game, I believe. This one has traditionally been cut off in certain emulators or video output devices, but we're getting the full image here with this adapter, so you can see on both sides of the HUD, there's no clipping. This is looking really nice. And again, beautifully scaled. Yes! Very sharp, very crisp. Now, I wouldn't feel like this video is complete without testing something that is 480i, so here we are, dead or alive. And again, this adapter is able to provide support for this resolution into the RetroTink 4K CE, and the MADI implementation on this, as we saw in an earlier video on the channel, just perfectly capable of handling interlaced content to a wonderful degree. So honestly, I didn't actually do any optimal sampling for 480i, just ran an auto phase before we started recording this game, and I mean, the results are still really good. I could dial this in more, I feel like, but just for a quick demo, this isn't bad. Like, this is pretty great. Alright, so initial first impressions of the PS1 VGA adapter are actually pretty solid, but this is a prototype, and as such there are some kinks that can be found and worked out, and over the course of making this video, I did find one. So, if there are big bright screens or flashing screens, the adapter will lose some resolution sync. And I've let Mike know about this, so looking forward to seeing the next iteration of this adapter. That way we can test it again and maybe do a final review on it. But again, like, pretty solid overall, just a few little quirks with big bright white screens. But when these do release, they are expected to go for about $29.99. So just another option to keep in mind as you build out your video setup using either the RetroTink 4K Pro or RetroTink 4K CE. I know I didn't mention this earlier, but no, you cannot use these to connect your consoles directly to a VGA monitor because it's not operating at the proper resolutions or output. Unless you got a multi-format monitor, then maybe it could, but for your standard VGA monitor, no, this is not going to work for that. But big thank you to Mike for sending these adapters out my way to test and share with all of you. I look forward to sharing more when this is more finalized. Again, this is a prototype. And thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you found it informative and gives you something to look forward to and exciting in the retro scene. But we're going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you so much again as always. A couple favors at the end. Thumbs up, thumbs down, depending how much you like this video. And please be sure to hit that sub button and notification bell so you can see when new videos go live on the channel. We still have the Super Nintendo adapter to cover for this one. I'm just waiting for a replacement power supply. So just really looking forward to sharing that one with all of you as well. Now, if you're interested in further helping support the channel to keep it going, please be sure to check out that join button here on YouTube or the Patreon link in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, as every little bit helps keep us going. And I've just been loving getting your votes on weekly retro reviews. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you for being a part of that. But big thank you to all of our current backers again. Just amazing champions. Couldn't do it without you. But until next time, I want to fill internet peeps. You all stay awesome, keep on gaming, and we'll see you back next video.